Today, we're making Tostada Casserole.
We are making Tostada Casserole.
Nico Chico is going to be a guest star on today's video because this is one of his childhood recipes that his mom would make. So very comforting, very homey for him. Give them the rundown.
Yeah, so basically, I want to say how proud I am. I am very, very proud of you for this. She doesn't know I planned this. I'm very proud of you. This is, I think, episode, what, 3, 4, 5? 4. So I am very proud of you for doing this. This is awesome. So I'm happy to be here. But yeah, the rundown basically is, our dogs are in the background, so I apologize. I typically entertain them while Carly cooks and does these videos, so hopefully they aren't too loud. But Tostada Casserole is basically as it sounds. It's kind of like a lasagna of sorts, but with taco and ingredients of beans and meat and cheese if you want. We're going to do a pretty simple one because I was a pretty picky eater when I was a little kid. So it's honestly just tortillas, meat, cheese, and it's just repetitive like that. But again, you can add olives or whatever you want, but we'll make it pretty simple. And so if you want to implement this...
Did you eat it with sour cream?
No, I don't know if I introduced it to sour cream until like maybe
missed opportunity.
maybe like high school probably, because again, little kid, didn't really fan sour cream. So, but again, it's going to be the base, and I think that if you guys want to interpret it however you want, with whatever ingredients, such as olives or sour cream.
We started by preheating our oven to 350, so you're going to want to do that now while you make your layers.
Yeah. So simple enough, the layers kind of go. We actually just called my mom before we did this. It's pretty simple. It's just tortillas, meat, cheese, and you repeat that over, I think, 3 times, and it should be...
Didn't she say she did a certain amount of layers based off of how much you guys were eating? Like,
yes,
as they
so
grew up?
She said that as we grew up when I was younger, I'm the youngest of 3, and so my brother was 6 years older and my sister was 8 years older. So I guess when I was very, very young, it'd be only 2 layers, and as we grew up and like I was like 6th grade, my brother was probably in high school, she would then, yes, add on a 3rd layer of sorts.
You're growing boys!
Growing boys. So,
okay, let's get started.
Yeah, let's do it. So I believe the first big step would be, we got to open up the enchilada sauce. So simply enough, the enchilada sauce is a big component. We just soaked the tortillas inside the enchilada sauce to get them having that taste of sorts. My mom did mention though, if you want to make it a little bit more crunchy, you could fry the tortillas first and then dip them in the enchilada sauce. So that is an option. Today I don't think we're going to do that. I think we're just going to do the dip. So we're going to take this, open this up, and we're just going to pour this into, I think, the pie pan. So simply enough, we're going to pour the enchilada sauce into the pie pan. And by doing that,
And this is our taco meat, so it's just, ground up ground beef with the taco seasoning packet and some water, and you're good to go.
Yeah, there's nothing fancy about the taco meat. Again, you can get fancy with it if you want.
You can just pour the whole thing.
There you go. Should I just do that?
Dump it in.
Alright, we'll just pour the whole thing here. I'll just leave it at that. I don't want it to overflow. But yes, again, you can get fancy with the taco seasoning however you want to do so. But we just kind of did a basic one, so it shouldn't be a problem. Alright, and so now the next step is the tortilla dip. So because of the layers, the first thing is the tortillas. We always did yellow corn, from my best understanding.
Last time I made them with flour tortillas, and that did not pass the recipe test.
So I think with flour tortillas, when you cook them, they do not...
they're kind of mushy.
They're a little mushy, so it absorbs a lot. With the corn, of course, it doesn't absorb as much, so that's why we always use corn growing up. So simply enough, you would just want to lay it in there, nothing too crazy. My mom always says if you can kind of try to get off as much excess, because again, you don't want it to absorb too much. You just want to kind of a nice thin layer. She's going to pan that really quick. So simply enough, I'm going to continue to go through this. Again, the first layer here will just be the tortillas. And so it can catch all the ingredients when we're finished. So that's kind of why you always want to have that one first.
Tell me more about your eating choices as a child.
So let's just say, guys, this recipe, and Carly knows this recipe was probably the most adventurous I got. because I always liked, one, I didn't like things with lots of ingredients because I don't know, I got kind of skeptical, and when I would get things such as sandwiches or even like plates full of things from restaurants, it always have like some special thing like
a garnish.
Like a garnish or something.
A horseradish sauce.
So as I started to grow up, I hated big plates with lots of ingredients. So I started making things real simple. So that resulted in corn dogs, chicken nuggets, and things like that. Because there's like...
pizza sandwiches.
You don't add anything to those things. Those are just really plain. So I got really picky, really young. And being a kid of a single mom, my mom did not want any fuss. She was like, if I can just feed you and get you to eat your food, I'll be happy. So it started resulting in a lot of things like that. Chicken nuggets, hot dogs. But as I got older in high school and college, especially when I left for college, I started getting a little bit more branching out because when you're with your friends, you don't want to kind of be that picky eater. You don't want to be the childlike person. I still have that of myself, but I got more adventurous, and especially being in a relationship with Carly in college, she would always make me branch out. And especially being married, and she just cooks all the darn time. I just found more and more things that I actually like. And so now we go to fun, fancy restaurants, and we always try really, really cool things, and that are very different than what I ever would have thought I would have eaten before. So, anyways.
Let's layer it up.
First layer down here, you see it's the first layer of tortillas, again, just so the ingredients don't fall, and when you try to serve it, it doesn't get crazy.
And it's a 9 by 13 inch pan, and we just did 6 tortillas on the bottom.
Yeah. Because we're doing so many layers, actually we're doing the 3 layers, you actually don't have to make the meats, or it's kind of up to your discretion with how much meat you have. I just remember the layers being super thin. They weren't crazy, like, you know, when you kind of do that middle cut and you open it up, there wasn't a lot going on. It was just very thin, and as you kind of progress up, so.
I think maybe a little bit thinner on the meat.
Yeah, so we don't have a lot of meat going on. So again, when you're cooking it, it depends on what you want. Today we don't have too much, so
1 pound.
We'll try to be a little bit more thin and conservative on the meat. So that's kind of, again, just a base level. I'll just kind of do that. So again,
maybe we should just do 2.
Yeah, we might just result in 2 layers. It's just us, so I mean.
We're not growing boys.
We're not growing boys. Anyways, Goose, get down, bud. Sorry, I have some. When we have snacks on the table, Turkey's really good. Turkey has grown up in this household for a year now, and he's really good. Goose, it's his own rules, and so we're having to get used to that.
Goose straight up just jumps on top of the coffee table.
No, even Turkey though. Even when Turkey was a puppy, there was even boundaries. I think Turkey just knew. Goose, no boundaries.
And he's a leaper. He just commits. He
just commits. So, anyways.
Cheese?
Cheese, yes. So the next thing, again, thin layer of meat. And the next item is cheese. So we did, I think we just did kind of a cheddar jack mix. So it's a blend of cheddar and Monterey Jack. You can do a Mexican blend or however you want. Really, the cheese is up to you. However salty or cheddary or whatever you want, you can do. So we just did a mix of Monterey Jack and cheddar. Again, with the 2 layers that we're doing, we'll probably do a thinner layer than I would, than maybe typically. And Carly and I both do not benefit from dairy, especially me. But
here we are.
And so here we are.
Living our best dairy lives.
Doing this. So again, thin layer, I try to get to the most the edges as you can, because the cheese, from me growing up, the cheese really holds it together, especially when you make cuts. That's kind of how it is with both this casserole, lasagna, all that stuff. Is the cheese and the, especially with the lasagna, the noodles, or it's the noodles, correct? The noodles are the things that really hold it together when cutting and distributing that. So I always try to get the cheese, whether it's just thin, but still try to get it to the edges the best you can.
Yeah. Just like a good sandwich, like you don't want
a bite without
mayo on the edges.
Right. So simply enough, again, next layer. Boom. Just the tortillas. Again, corn, dip in. I try to get as much off so it's not too moist. On top. Again, reminder, if there's, I think Carly already did it, but the preheating of 350. So once we're done, it can just hop right back in the oven. So let me finish this up. We'll do kind of one more layer probably on top of this guy and finish it off. So, I actually don't know. I think it would be a top layer. What would be that top layer? Tortilla, right? Tortilla? Or would it be cheese? I think it's cheese.
I would do cheese.
So
maybe tortilla with no meat on top of cheese.
So that, okay, I think that's what I was about to say, is I think the top layer my mom used to put was always, you do the 2 layers of meat. So that's like 2 things of meat. But on the very, very top, yes, it'd be tortillas and then a cheese on top. So that's what we'll do. Right now we're at that middle section with the tortilla. So we'll do another thin layer of the rest of the meat that we have in our dish here. Again, don't have a lot today, but if you were to have some yourself and have more of a plentiful of amount, then you probably can put more. But today, because of just the amount we have, we're going to put a conservative amount. So just try to get it as close to the edges as possible. I'll try to, if you want to give me a little bit of help, can you? Actually, I'll just do this. Yeah, I'll just do that guy. But that's also the thing with a lot of this, is a lot of these ingredients have a lot of juices, a lot of grease, and a lot of that, the wateriness and soakiness of that. So do your best to try and not make it so soaky, because me and Carly kind of went through this before. When we tried to do it in the past, it's been so moist, and you want that flavor from it, but you do not want it to be a soaking, wet casserole when it's out of the oven.
Yeah.
So got all the meat there, and we'll just kind of spread it around. Again, trying to get to the edges as close as we can with the amount of meat we have. So kind of do that around. Again, push, push, push. Oh, that just moved it all around. Perfect. All right. Now last, I'm gonna do that. Just toss the little thing around. All right. And now we're gonna do one more layer of cheese. So simply enough, cheese, 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 cheese. Again, Carly and I are trying to be a little bit dairy conscious today, but you know, here we are. So I'll put this as much as I can. All right, cool beans. So I got the what is going to be second to last layer of cheese, and then finish it off. So this is the top. Again, 2 layers of meats. So tortilla, meat, cheese, tortilla, meat, cheese, and now we're going to do the very, very top, the seal, if you will. So again, tortilla, dip it in the enchilada sauce. Boom. We'll kind of complete that process. But yeah, simply enough, growing up with a single mom, my mom actually worked every day. She worked every day at a childhood after-school daycare. It's called Adventure Time, just like the cartoon. She's worked there for, I think, almost...
a cartoon?
Yeah, there's like a Cartoon Network cartoon called Adventure Time now. And so my mom worked there for 25 plus years or so. Still works there. She's a big pillar in the community of my small town. And so growing up, we would, my brother being so much older, my sister being so much older, we had access to getting food and ordering out if we needed to. And cooking at home wasn't always the easiest because of a hardworking single mom coming in late at night. We're just like, well, let's just go get pizza uptown. We have a pizza shop. Bronco Billy's Pizza, which was down the block from my home growing up. Goose, get down, bub. Bronco Billy's was a pizza shop that was just a block down the road. And so we would go there. So when we did cook food, there wasn't a big array of menu. This was a big pillar of it. Every time my mom had the opportunity to actually make dinner, I would say a good 50-50 chance it was tostada casserole. Just because my mom was a killer at it, she really always made it solid, and it produced a lot of leftovers too. We could always eat it. And again, 3 kids, single mom, having leftovers of some kind is always a benefit. So tostada casserole was a good option. So, all right. So again, we're done now. Again, this is a very simplified version of this. You can add in olives, top it off some sour cream with serving it. You can
maybe some chives.
You
can add onions.
Right. You can really get complicated with it. But again, with my brother, myself, and my sister have such a difference in palate, we could. No, you're all good. We didn't get too fancy with it, but you can. Yeah, like Carly was saying, all those ingredients, just toss it in. It's not a hard meal, and actually ends up being really stinking good. after it's complete. So, like I said, that's all finished. It's all done.
Let's pop it in the oven.
We can pop it in the oven, 350. How long do you have in mind?
20 to 30 minutes.
20 minutes?
Check it.
And we'll give you an exact number, but we'll just keep checking it. The enchilada casserole is in the oven, but I thought in the meantime, Carly said I should show her dogs. So if you guys don't already know, we have 2 dogs. This one is Turkey. Turkey is a rescue from the West Valley Animal Shelter here in Phoenix. And so we have had him for just over a year. It's been like 2 weeks since his 1-year adoptiversary.
It's called Maricopa County Animal Care and Control.
Oh, Maricopa County Animal Care and Control is where we got Turkey. So it's been about a year for him. And then we just got this Bubba's in quarantine. This is Goose. So this is Goose. Goose is approximately, I would say maybe 4 months. 4 months old? 5 months old? So this is Goose. He's 5 months old. He is also a rescue from the Maricopa County Animal Control and Center on the West Valley. So basically, yeah. So Carly really wanted a dog her whole life. I've had dogs. I've grown up with dogs, and so once we got married, we knew that we wanted to get 2. So we got Turkey. Knew he needed a buddy eventually. So while in quarantine, we felt it was the perfect time. I started working from home. So we got Goose, and Goose has been, Goose is a dope. Just as much as Turkey's a dope, Goose is a dope. So they're just both funny dogs. They run into walls, run into each other. They actually it's funny, they just cut the corner, both of them, but opposite ways, and just collided. They're funny, so.
Next, we're gonna ask Nico questions while we wait for our tostada casserole. Number 1, tell us about your hairstyle right now and the look that we're going for. Tell us! I love it.
So anyways, while in quarantine,
and by that he means 5 days ago.
Well, I mean, like I've been looking anyways. So while in quarantine, it's hard to get a haircut because not everything's open, and you want to be safe, and you don't always want to. Yeah, you just don't always have access to a haircut. So with the new job, I was thinking I would take time to grow out my hair, which I did. So it got a little bit way longer than it normally does.
Mm-hmm.
And so with that, I had looked on Pinterest for guys' hairstyles. And one of them, of course, has been a messy mullet, if you will. It's not like a traditional mullet, but it's...
It's not hillbilly mullet, it's cool, sleek.
Rock star.
Rock star.
Is that what you had described it?
Yes.
Anyways, so Carly really wanted me to do it. I was kind of interested. I was kind of interested in doing it, but Carly really pushed me to do it. So yes, I got a haircut Monday. This Monday, so I don't know. Whatever that is, but Monday I got one on Monday, and so it's me trying it out, and so we'll see how it goes. Yeah. Carly says it complements my mustache very well. So
tell them about your design ideas behind decorating our apartment.
Yeah, so I mean, Carly knows. I mean, as anybody who knows me, and Carly, I love the fact that Carly's always allowed me to do this. Is I absolutely love interior design, and so with our home and a lot of the things that you see probably in the background for our videos are all things that are intentionally done because I love interior design. Yeah, usually just
the most lame part of our house.
You get all the you just get the kitchen, whatever was built into our apartment. But
the rest is really
on
cool.
The other side, it's really, really cool, and we put a lot of work into it. I put a lot of effort into it with the consulting of what Carly wants. She's always like, I really want extra seating, so I do the best I can to find chairs and furniture that can provide extra seating and still look cool and cohesive with the space. And
I think of kind of like the practical things, and Niko implements them in also a way that looks really nice.
Yeah, so you've probably seen the cheerleader picture art in the background of one of our videos. Many people question that.
We should name her.
We could name her, but yeah, so basically I think a lot of people are like, what the heck is going on?
It's from a movie.
It's from a movie called The Awkward Moment. It actually is it's an art piece called The Floor Routine by Joe Heaps. He was a New York-based artist. Actually recently passed away. And so they had there was a big kind of show for his, and a lot of it is implementation of these adolescent moments depicted in contemporary art, so such as a cheerleader. So it was really cool. So we found it in one of the movies that we saw, and then we found it actually available online and bought it. So just a print of it. We didn't actually buy the actual piece.
We're really trendy and cool.
So we bought a print of that. But on the other side of the camera, yeah, we have like art across all of our walls. On the other side of the camera, though, that's the unfortunate thing, is you get to see this stuff, but on the other side of the camera, we have a lot of art, whether it's stuff that I've found or things that I've made actually personally. But one big thing that I found that I'm actually very proud of, because of an Instagram video I saw online at a shop that I really love, is this guy. It is our giant spoon. We have our giant spoon that we got from a vintage store here in Phoenix. Anyways, so...
He's like Forky in Toy Story,
A little
but
bit.
not Forky.
Anyways, but yeah, it's a really cool piece that we have at the front of our apartment. But that's, I think, a perfect symbol of all the quirky stuff that we have in our apartment behind the camera, which you don't get to see. Maybe Carly will do I will assist in maybe having Carly do an apartment
We'll
tour
have to clean.
one day. Yeah, we'll have to clean. We have a lot of cool stuff, so we'll show that sometime.
We would have to clean up our chicken nugget plates. But
Yeah.
those are a staple
We,
on our, what is it called?
in our interior
No.
design, into our aesthetic, is
The coffee table.
we have my pizza roll and my chicken nugget leftover plate that it's not clean.
Tell them about Golden Dirt
Oh yeah, I guess so.
and your playlists and design ideas.
Oh jeez. Okay. Just like Carly's been making an endeavor this season, I have wanted to do one as well. I'm really, not in addition to interior design and art and all that, I really just love lifestyle stuff and products and things that you can buy from stores that just can be implemented into your everyday life. So I thought what would be a good idea is to start at least a lifestyle brand in which I can expand out over time. So right now I have Golden Dirt. Golden Dirt is my lifestyle brand of sorts that I feel it can ever evolve into other things. But right now I make playlists almost once a week that have a certain genre of music of sorts or have a same vibe and feel, and I release those on my personal Instagram. But yes, Golden Dirt is a endeavor that I wanted to slowly evolve over time, but that can produce music playlists or display products from companies and brands I really admire. It's kind of an overarching idea. It's not like a lifestyle and fitness blog. It's just, I think, a place in my life that I can share with you guys and share with my friends and people who care about cool things that I like. And so that's kind of what Golden Dirt is. And yeah, so that's my own little endeavor that I'm doing this season. So
If you think you like the same cool things that Nico likes, check out Golden Dirt on Instagram.
yeah, so basically over time I'll be able to produce stickers and products or even just share those products with you. So that you can find that at Golden Dirt.
Ooh, you should do holiday gift guides.
Ooh, a holiday gift guide might be the next thing I might try out then, yeah. There's maybe a guide to those who like art or, like art or like interior design and things you should watch out for. Maybe tabletop books. I love coffee table books. That's
Love a good table.
Love a good coffee table book. So maybe I'll make a little list of those as well. You can probably check out for the Christmas season.
Excellent. Should we check on our...
Yeah, so right now I guess we'll just kind of check on the casserole and see how it's doing. It's looking great. I don't know. What do you think?
2 more minutes.
Maybe a few more minutes?
Yeah.
I think we put a lot of cheese on top.
Yeah.
So, anyway, so we're here at, I think it was 13. I put it at 15 minutes total. Right now we're at 13 minutes. I'd say it needs a little bit more time.
I think we're for 20, no?
No, I put it for 15 just so that we could check it at the end of 15.
Okay, well, pause for this commercial break.
What's up, ladies and gents? Time is up. It is time to break out the casserole from the oven. Let's do this. I'll show you. You gotta move. It's gonna be hot plate.
I
Hot
don't
plate.
think I've ever used that oven mitt.
I do because I'm a wimp.
You got it. You got it.
All right. Perfect. So, it is out of the oven. It is very hot.
How does it smell?
It smells good. It smells like cheese. meats and tortillas all together. It's still very hot, but we're gonna
Let's do a taste test.
can we let it cool for a little bit? So this is actually something I really advise.
No, dive it. No, I'm just
No,
kidding.
no, no.
I'm just kidding.
I really do advise this though.
Let it sit.
I do let that, typically I let it sit so that it cools down. Because when it cools down, the cheese then coagulates of sorts, comes out of that melting stage, if you will, and then it actually makes it more of a solid connection. Because I always let it sit actually for 5-ish, close to 10 minutes, because the plate's also, the dish is also so hot. But yeah, what's kind of great now is you'll see here, and as you kind of pull yours out, there's some dried cheese, and that's actually
The best part.
that would be a product too of letting it cool down. As these edges will still, because they're still kind of melty. If we were to let it cool down, it actually might also kind of get that crunch just a little bit. So I let it sit 5 to 10 minutes. Ladies and gents, we've let it sit for enough time to where that cheese again is no longer so liquidy. It's now kind of concealed and together, not melted anymore. So what I'm gonna do is gonna cut it off the corner a little bit. Again, still a little bit, melty and hot, but that's no big deal. Kind of going with a spatula and a scooper at the same time, because hopefully the layers kind of in the respect to their structure are pretty solid. So that's kind of how you see it here. It's still a little solid. It's almost like a piece of cake. So that's kind of always good. You feel
It's like the TikToks. Is it cake or is it real?
So that's the ultimate test. Is if you can. The effort of us trying to make sure that the liquids and the sauces didn't get soaked in too much is a result of now me being able to transport it from the casserole dish to the plate without it kind of going off the sides. It's just nice solid.
Let's taste it.
Let's do that. Boy, stop it. Stop it. All right.
I want this.
You want the crunchy edge cheese?
Yes.
Try to get a list enough. Alright, oops. This is great.
It tastes so good.
Again, the simple ingredients of what we have today are just they're so good together.
And it kind of feels warm and comforting.
Yeah. And again, the best effort that I cannot emphasize this enough is just when you have opportunities to skimp out on the sauces and juices. You got a hot bite? You good? Is it burning your mouth? Be careful.
Final advice.
Life advice or food advice? What?
The final wrap up.
I would say, coming from someone who's a picky eater, I would not say this is because get ingredients out of the mix. I think ingredients are great, especially eating fun food with you. I find those undertones of those little elements of ingredients that really make things beautiful. But with things such as simple as this, really to pay attention to these things, such as things that just involve meat, cheese, and tortillas. Go and find ingredients and recipes that are as simple as this, because sometimes they're just good. They're just good. And when it's kind of one end of the other. It's either ordering takeout food and getting it delivered to your home, or making a really intense dish on the other end of the spectrum. I think not a lot of people live within the middle ground, which is a lot of how I do my cooking. If I was to cook, I don't have the capabilities of probably putting in all these amazing ingredients to make something very beautiful. I have the simplicity of meat, cheese, and tortillas, and at the same time, those dishes can be really good, such as this one. So
I've been talking about that quite a bit, about how I think the reason that people don't cook from home as much is because you kind of have this idea that it has to either be like the most super healthy food or an extravagant meal, otherwise you're not cooking from home. But it's so much better to start cooking from home and get in the habit with just food that you like and you know you will eat.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And that's why with something as simple as this, I feel like it's doable. You did cook from home. We cooked from home. Anyway, so yeah, if you make something as simple as this, you have cooked from home. That is a successful dinner made.
And you should be proud of it.
Be proud of it. Doesn't have to be complex. Doesn't have to be crazy. And if it is not complex, that shouldn't be an excuse. Shouldn't be an excuse to order food. I remembered when I started using garlic salts instead of just regular salt. I don't know.
A power move.
But those evolutions will come in time when you just start making anything. So
Thanks for joining us. I'm so
Yeah.
happy that you are our first guest star.
that instead of me playing video games with headphones on, that I'm actually here helping you.
Yes. If people have any questions for you, where can they find you?
You can find me. Here's my plug. You can find me
On the couch. No, I'm just kidding.
You can find me on Instagram at Niko'Chico, Niko'Chico. You can find me there. That's my personal Instagram, or Gold and Dirt on Instagram. You can find me there.
Perfect. We hope you guys try our recipe and enjoy it.
Boom.